Dried blood held Samson's eyelids closed. His hands couldn't move to scratch the blood away, but he could feel the same blood on his face and taste it in his mouth. He strained against the pressure on his eyes until the crusts on the lids gave way. His eyes fluttered open, and he glanced about the room. It all came back. Block 10, Auschwitz. Experimentation Ward, December 1941. A single light bulb struggled against the dark, far above Samson's head. He could just make out his surroundings. Nearby on a bench lay surgical tools and blood-soaked rags, scalpels, and broken needles. The equipment for a long, slow death. Specimen bottles lined a shelf far to one side. An IV fed something into his arm. Saline, Samson guessed, just enough to keep him alive. He caught a murky reflection of himself in a stainless steel urn on the table. He swallowed, his throat painfully dry. All he could see at first was the side of his jaw. Samson shuddered. That same jaw had once been sharp and keen, the jaw of a middleweight champion boxer. Samson could take a hit from any man, stay standing with a grin, and then pound back his revenge. His opponents said he hit with the force of a heavyweight, earning him the nicknames Heavy Hands, Sledgehammer, and the Lion of Zion. He dominated his opponent at the 1936 Olympics, but 2 judges and a referee disqualified Samson after he knocked his opponent unconscious. They handed the decision to the other man, but everyone in the arena knew Samson had been robbed. Samson had set his jaw in defiance and pride, and walked out of the arena without a word. That same jaw was now skinless. The muscles in Samson's lower jaw were visible, like someone had begun shaving with a straight edge, but had cut too deep and kept going. Samson could see the backs of his hands looked the same, the tops of his feet, the fronts of his thighs, the surface of his stomach. He couldn't see his back, but by the mind-numbing agony he felt behind him, he didn't doubt his back had also been stripped of skin. Pain shot across Samson's chest with each breath, and a dull ache throbbed in his shoulder joints. Both arms were held at the wrists, arms stretched wide. From the corners of his eyes he could discern he'd been strapped to some sort of operating table that was propped upright. Metal surgical spikes pierced both of his hands and held him fast on a vertical medical gurney. Leather straps went around his wrists, taking the pressure off the spikes, prolonging the agony. He realized that he had been nailed to a cross. 2 thoughts rushed at Samson. How long would the torture go on? And where would he be today if he'd made a different choice that afternoon on the street in Krakow nearly a year ago? Was it worth everything just to do the right thing and show compassion to his fellow man? Had it been worth it to risk his life and the lives of all those he loved just to help one less fortunate? Samson let his mind wander. He could feel the hugs of his twin daughters again, tiny arms that once squeezed him in the afternoon sunlight. He could hear his young son's voice, strong and full of laughter. His brother, Zach, and Zach's fiancée, Esther, so much potential in that young couple. His aging parents, their presence as comforting as the smell of freshly baked bread. The shape of his wife's body, warm and curved under their bedroom blankets at home. There was no sunlight anymore. No voices, no blankets, no home.